Yo dije que no, ella dijo sí. Yo dije que sí, ella dijo no. Al final no importa, es algo que Dios ya decidió. La muerte dijo sí, yo digo que no. La vida dijo no, yo digo que sí. Al final, ¿qué importa si muerto en vida sobreviví? Es una cuestión de tiempo, tan breve este momento en que eres y en que soy. Tú mañana ya te fuiste y antes me dijiste el futuro es hoy. Traigo este presente por las que has pasado. Ha sido pesado añorar ausentes. Todo se soporta aunque esté nublado. Sigamos de frente a paso paulatino. Aún no me cansé. Unas voy a pie, otras yo camino. La verdad no importa porque no sé cuál es mi destino. Es una cuestión de tiempo, tan breve este momento y este es el que soy. Mañana ya te fuiste, pero antes me dijiste el futuro soy. Hoy, 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 hoy,
That is Cafe Tacvba live on this special Facebook Live edition of Soundcheck. You can watch the proceedings on Facebook at WNYC Soundcheck. That song called Futuro. And the members of Cafe Tacvba joining us here in the studio, Ruben Albarán on vocals. Normally lead vocals, but sharing them in this song with Kike Rangel.
Everybody in the band sings.
Everybody sings. And Kike, as I say, playing the bass.
Hello.
We also heard Joselo Rangel on electric guitar, Meme Del Real behind the keyboards, and as usual with this band, when you're touring, Luis Ledesma behind the drum kit. So, Kike, there seems to be a little bit of a cumbia rhythm to that song.
Yeah. This is a composition that I didn't thought in that deep in what was going with the lyrics. Suddenly I realized this was a philosophical cumbia.
A philosophical cumbia.
Yeah.
Who did the video for that song? Is one of the strangest videos I've ever seen. I mean, it's like a Day of the Dead thing gone crazy. Who does your videos? Who did that one?
That one was directed by an Argentinian director, Diego Tucci, in conjunction with vision of Ruben, who always takes care on the side to develop these amazing videos.
Because you guys, I mean, Ruben, a lot of you have sort of graphic design in your background, right?
Yes, we met in the school, the design school. Mm-hmm. So it's a pleasure for us to take all this work and do it.
Right. So now the album title, I'm going to spell the album title, and then I want you to tell me how you say it, Ruben. It's J-E-I, that's the first word, and then the second word is B-E-I-B-I. Okay, so J-E-I-B-E-I-B-I. How do you say this album title?
Hey, baby.
So it's a little bilingual joke. It's a joke for the English speaking listeners.
Joselo picked the name. So, yes, it's
Joselo was smiling sheepishly in the corner there. So you guys made the decision early on, Hey Baby notwithstanding, to sing in Spanish rather than English, knowing that, you know, the American audience, even pre-Trump, was not so inclined to, you know, to rock music not in English. But you guys have stuck with that decision. Why?
because we have a lot of things to talk with our audience in Spanish, and we haven't get the necessity to communicate with in English.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to do it now.
Well, that was going to be my follow-up question. Does it feel different to be a Mexican band touring in America now?
Well, it's different all the time, and it seems that the necessity of the moment it has to do with our Latin audience living here in North America. So it would be interesting to try to express ourselves in English.
Yeah. Because you guys do record generally here in the States, in L.A., right?
Yes, in Mexico and in LA.
Yeah. So the new record called Hey Baby is coming out on May 5th. Intentionally a Cinco de Mayo release? Or is that just a coincidence?
Not really. But we are going to say yes. We are standing as Mexicans.
So one of the interesting things that we've seen with other Mexican composers who've come through our studio, Natalia Lafourcade, for example, or Camilo Lara, Mexican Institute of Sound, is these are musicians who started in a kind of a pop or a rock world, and now they're really kind of looking at what they can do that is specifically Latino, specifically Mexican. There seems to be a real kind of resurgence of interest in looking at roots music in the Mexican music scene. Would that be fair to say?
Well, there's a fluctuation in the kind of influences that musicians work with. I think now it's different. When our generation, we are from the last part of the 80s,
right.
We were very interested in taking our culture and our roots and experiment with that in the music. But now it seems that all the young bands and the young musicians are more interested in be part of a global sound. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but maybe next generation is going to be another time interested in roots and traditional music.
Yeah. Well, now this album, this is a rockin' record. Did you guys set out to do that? Meme, did you guys have a specific vision in mind when you began recording?
No, not really. That's probably one of the characteristics of Café Tacvba, that we start pretty much open to whatever it happens and go with the flow. And particularly because we are, each one of us are composers, we bring different ideas, sometimes antagonic ideas, but that's probably what makes so rich the perspective of or the wide sound of what sometimes are the sound or the styles or the genres are more narrowed, but sometimes, and I feel that this album is more opened and free in terms of ideas and genres.
Well, and the world of rock can go from this sort of cumbia-driven thing we just heard to something more kind of psychedelic, which you get into in a couple of songs on this record.
Yes, actually yesterday in an interview, there is this girl that says this song that is like a 70s psychedelic song, and I said, yeah, that's right, and we are from the 70s. I mean, we grew up with all those psychedelia era, so that's maybe there, and now it's reflecting in the song.
Now, Meme, you're going to pick up a guitar for this next
Yes.
song, right? The song is called Dissolviéndonos, which means dissolving, right?
Dissolving, yes.
All right. This, once again, is going to be on the new album by Café Tacvba. It's been 5 years since their last record. This one is called Hey Baby, and the band is playing live here in the Soundcheck studio.
Se desvanece todo el tiempo. Se disuelve y se pierde como un sueño. Qué absurdo pensar que no sucederá con lo nuestro. Ilusorio pensar sobrevivirá al tiempo. Al tiempo.
Well, that is Cafe Tacvba once again playing live in our Soundcheck studio here in New York, and a song called Dissolviéndonos, Dissolving, which is on the new record called Hey Baby, a Cinco de Mayo release from Cafe Tacvba. And that, Kike, that sounds like a tricky song when you hear it on the record. To see you guys play it live, that's a whole nother thing. You've taken it to another level.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it's what happens with a lot of songs. There is one perception in the studio, and when the energy of playing it live again, and actually this was we haven't played this one in a stage.
Really?
It's going to be really interesting.
Wow.
What's going to happen, and I think it's going to be tomorrow at Terminal 5.
Terminal 5 tomorrow with our friends Buscabulla as the opening act. For those of you who don't know Buscabulla, a Puerto Rican group based here in Brooklyn, and you can check out our website, soundcheck.org, to hear a live session by that band. They're really great.
They're very, very good.
So they're opening for you guys at Terminal 5. Ruben, you were talking before about, maybe it's time to think about an English language song. But the great thing about Cafe Tacvba is that over all these years, you have developed an Anglophone fan base. People like me who don't, I speak enough Spanish to call for the ball when I'm playing soccer, in the park on the weekend. That's cambio, that's about it. But, there are a lot of us who are, Anglophone fans of this band. And, that's got to be really gratifying to you guys, to be able to kind of plow your own path and have people come to you that way.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's music. Music is universal. So we grew up listening to Anglo music.
Sure.
And we didn't know how to speak English. We just listen to the music and we sing, oh, watch his net, anything. We sing anything. And that's the power of music.
Yeah. Meme, are you guys still working with your old friend Gustavo Santaolalla?
Yes, actually, yeah, we have been working through the years and through the whole albums with him and with Aníbal Kerpel in different levels. Sometimes he's taking care of the whole production, and sometimes he's just like an kind of a advisor or stuff, but always close. But this time with the Hey Baby, he's really close. He's taking care of the whole thing with the band, and we are really proud to keep maintaining that relation, and we're happy with what happens.
He's a great composer himself. Won an Oscar for his film music for Brokeback Mountain, but he's done a lot of other things. And Ani Kerpel also is also an interest, and Gabi Kerpel, they're brothers, right?
Yeah, it's a brother that is some musician and has some projects and stuff.
There's a lot of great stuff out there. But speaking of collaborations, Ruben, you guys have a gig in October with Gustavo Dudamel and the Los Angeles Philharmonic. What will that be?
Well, it's interesting. It's going to be a surprise, and it is a mystery even for us.
Have you ever done anything like that? I mean, this band has done so much unusual music, with clarinets and string quartets and things. Have you ever done anything like this?
Not like this.
Well, I guess first you need to figure out what this is.
Yes. We have worked with a lot of musicians, all kinds of music, and with quartets, but now it's going to be bigger, and it's going to be great. A mystery for us.
Well, presumably there will need to be some additional collaborator on that project, someone to do orchestrations and things like that, unless one of you guys does that?
No, not really.
Okay.
I think we hope somebody else is going to take care of that.
All right, in the meantime, we've got Hey Baby, the latest album from Cafe Tacvba, the great Mexican band here in our New York studio doing this Facebook Live edition of Soundcheck. And one more song, this one called Las Flores, the flowers?
Yes.
Las flowers.
All right. Once again, live music in our studio from Café Tacvba.
From 1994.
Going back into the canon of Café Tacvba songs for that one, Las Flores, from the second record, which was called
right.
Ray, R-E,
Right.
landmark record, and probably the first one that I heard of yours. So nice to revisit some of the older material with that live performance. But there is a new record called Hey Baby. It's been 5 years since the last record. That seems about right for you guys for some reason.
That's the measure of our cycle. We we compose the songs, then we produce a record, then we tour 2.5 years, and then we stop 1 year and start all over again.
Well, it's a cycle that seems to work for you guys.
Yes.
New record sounds great. Thank you so much for coming in and playing for us
Thank you
today.
very much.
Please, thank you.
The members of Café Tacvba, this is Soundcheck.
Y